Before we get into it, if you enjoyed these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button, and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that.
All right, folks, here we are on Thursday, March 27th. We're going to take a look at GSAT today. So I jumped into Globalstar today, and I know it had a little bit of a rough ending to the day, but much of the market did as well. If you just look at QQQ, for example, right, it just everything fell apart there at the end of the day. I'm hoping it's not just particular to GSAT, but I saw some interesting insider buying activity that I thought maybe there's the potential somebody knows something, maybe even if that something is just that there are some better fundamentals for the business or product line or partnership or who knows, that might prove out to be beneficial in the near term. So I came up on a screener where I was looking for significant insider buying activity. That came up there. I took a look at the chart and I said, okay, you know what, I think this is worth jumping into and giving it the old college try. Now, there's a couple of things to look at here. We'll look at the levels, then we'll look at the EMAs, and lastly, we'll take a look at the Thinkorswim study. One thing, this is relatively new, but uptrend support holding at the moment, I'm not going to put it on, but you can see this previous downtrend resistance. You can see right where it comes through, right? It's pretty obvious where this downtrend resistance was coming through, and it's broken through that for the time being and is riding this uptrend support. So will this uptrend support last? I don't know, but the degree to which it does, there are several resistance levels right now, the nearest in being this 2271, that for as long as this uptrend support persists, we put in a bunch of flat tops or a bunch of ascending triangles, of which we typically look for these to come in, tighten the space here, and then punch through and make a run to the next one, right? So to the extent to which that can sort of take place, that's what I'm here for. Now, if it loses this uptrend support, then that's, going to be, for the time being, my signal to bounce out, because then we don't have the possibility of these ascending triangles effectuating. And so that's my trade strategy at the moment. Simple as that. If it loses this yellow uptrend support, I am out. Now, ascending triangle wise, you see it there, 2271. If it can punch through that, I think that unlocks an opportunity for it to rise this 2508. If you look back here, there's a gap up here, right? Really, there is a candle here, but it's really thin price action, right? There's not a lot of activity. It's going to be consumed in here, some back here, and then some way back here. But this is all pretty old and stale at this point, right? These are 2024 levels. But as for new activity in this range, there's this big, it's not truly a gap, but there is a volume vacancy here. So that's why I think there may be an opportunity if it can get some wind at its back. And who knows, if there's a good catalyst or something, like I said, if there's a good reason for that insider buying to be happening, then I think there's ample opportunity for it to go relatively unchecked volume-wise through some of these levels. 2508, basically 27, basically 29, and then 3163, 3510, and then we have an extended level up here, 4512. Now, obviously, that would be more than double the stock price at the moment, so that would be a phenomenal trade. I don't know if we'll get there, but I'm going to assess it along the way as we get through these price points. And just sort of make decisions as that happens. Now, you do have this reverse split that happened not very long ago. So it is interesting to see this reverse split happening and then this insider buying happening. We'll see if there's anything that comes of it. But to me, the most important thing is have a tight trading plan, know when it's your time to get out, and stick to it, right? It's all fine and dandy to have a plan, but if you don't stick to it, you're just going to tremendously screw yourself, right? So break of this uptrend support is my signal on that. Now, if we get rid of these for a moment, this was also what was interesting to me. EMAs wise, everything is really bunched up here. The 183, this gray one here, it sort of disappears into the mass of the short-term EMAs, which is the 8, 21, and 34, red, peach, and white, all just kind of bunched up together sort of seeming primed to me for an explosive move if it wants to make it. And it is at that very critical 183 level. So if it rejects off that 183, that's where it would come in and lose this uptrend support. So it's sort of like a double whammy to me. But if it loses this uptrend support, that also means that it's pushing off of this 183 EMA. Oftentimes, I will place trading strategies just off of the EMAs, right? And I'm looking for rejection of the 183, bearish crossover of EMAs, something to that effect. This, it's sort of making it easy on me in a way, because rejection of the 183 will result in the same thing as this uptrend support failing. And if it holds, and it's going to wrestle with that 183 a little bit, then it gives me a little bit of added security in that way. So that's actually super helpful. Now, on the Thinkorswim side of things, this is pretty interesting. Lengthy trigger here. So having a lengthy trigger while the price is like at the mid-range of the levels, at the mid-range of the channel, and is kind of trying to poke its head onto that call trigger, is really interesting. As you can see, this bearish momentum here, it's all but killed it off and started to ever so slightly shift it to some bullish momentum, right? Not a ton, but a little bit leaning in that direction. And it has, you can see it here as well with the wave cloud, right? This red wave cloud has been diminished and is coming to sort of a Coke bottle point, right? Like a soda bottle point there. Like a dolphin's nose, if you will. And so looking at that, looking at, it being reflected here in the histogram, lengthy trigger happening while this is at the baseline ATR level, mid-range of the channel, plenty of room here. And even then, if it did get through that call trigger and things did get sort of jumpy, the +1 ATR up to 29.06, I mean, it probably won't get there before March is over. But as you see, if that translates into April, the April call trigger right now is situated at 24.22 with a +1 ATR up to 29.73. So heck, if it's a few week trade, a month trade, I mean, I will absolutely take that percentage gain for sure. Now, this is not a guarantee. That's why I have the plan that I talked about, where if this gives way, this uptrend support gives way and it loses it, I know that this setup is bust, and all of the great things that I just talked about, ascending triangles, EMAs bunching up, the 183 being right there, and then the TTM squeeze indicator going through a lengthy trigger, all of these +1 ATR levels and call triggers, as great as all those things sound, I know that they all get chucked right out the window, and that setup is a bust if we lose this uptrend support. That's why that is my exit strategy. Could some catalyst hop in and bring it roaring back? For sure. And sometimes that will happen, and you're just going to have to be okay with that. But sticking to your exit strategy, even if it comes back to bite you in the butt, over the long run will save you way more than it will cost you. And if you find that that's not the case, you're somehow having a foolish exit strategy. Maybe look up other options. I guess that's just dawning on me as well. That should be the case. And if it's not, then yeah, look into, okay, I need to reevaluate my exit strategy here because I constantly seem to be screwing myself. Don't let one or two times become the sense of it's happening every time. If it's one or two times, yes, it's going to stand out to you. It's going to be disappointing. But really keep good track of what's happening and not let yourself think that, oh man, this happened once or twice, I must be doing something wrong. No, sometimes you will hit your stop loss or whatever it is, your exit point, and you will stick to it because you're doing the right thing, and it will still come roaring back and you go, oh my God, if I had just held 10 cents more, right? Something like that. But don't let that fool you into thinking that your whole exit strategy concept is bad. If that's happening a lot, then yeah, maybe evaluate it. Okay, got really tangential there at the end, but maybe that's meaningful to somebody. I don't know. In any case, I hope that you've had a good trading week, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.